Hey folks, my guest today is Pierce Ujanwala. He's a career marketer who's lived in the marketing trenches at companies like IBM, SAP, and Marketo. He launched Knack, that's Knak, in 2015 as a platform designed to help marketers simplify email creation. He's also the founder of Revenue Pulse, a marketing operations consultancy. Pierce, you ready to take us to the top?
Let's do it.
All right. So you came on back in December last year, so about a year ago, and told me that Knack had passed about 600 customers. Tell me more about growth today. Are you adding more customers or are you expanding the historical ones?
Yeah, we have continued to grow our business at, over 100% year over year. We were just named one of Canada's top growing companies, where we posted over 500% revenue growth over the last 3 years. And so, yeah, we're growing within new accounts, within our existing accounts. We see a lot where we'll get into an account with one team there and it grows globally across an enterprise. So lots of exciting stuff happening.
And for those folks that don't know Knack or missed our first interview together, what are these customers paying you for? Describe your product a bit.
Yeah, so Knack is a codeless enterprise campaign creation platform. And so for everyone out there, you all receive these beautiful marketing emails with the banners and buttons. Well, somebody is coding those most of the time. And an average marketing email is like 800 lines of code. And so marketers, well, they're not developers, they're marketers. And so what that means is that historically they've had to work with developers or really expensive and slow agencies to get this done. And with Knack, well, we're giving them the power back to be able to do all of this themselves and really unlock the creativity that they got into marketing to do in the first place.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds like, again, folks are using it. You said 100% year over year growth. Is that true of the customer base as well? So 600 customers a year ago means about what, 1,200 now?
Yeah, so we don't disclose how many customers we have, but we do have hundreds of customers, thousands of users all over the world. And yeah, I mean, we are replacing the status quo 95% of the time. And so, yeah, when customers...
Here's what changed, man. I get before you raise your bootstrap, you come on, you share your customer count. Now what your board says, Pierce, you gotta be more conservative, be less fun on interviews, no more customer numbers.
No, I think you had speculated our customer number. I did a long time ago, but we've had a lot of changes with our business model. Initially, like any founder, we went out, let's get as many customers as easily as possible. So it's $99 a month, credit card, no sales calls. Now we've really shifted, and when we're working with these large enterprise customers, they want to talk to a salesperson. They want to get comfortable. We have to go through procurement, security, all that fun stuff that you get to do with enterprise companies.
Well, last question on customer stuff. So, I mean, when you say hundreds and then thousands of users, so, I mean, do you think you can break 1,000 actual paid customers next year over the next 12 months?
So we are continuing to grow, triple digit every year. We're really focused on helping all the marketers out there. That's why I'm so excited about our raise,
So Pierce, if you grow 100% over the next 12 months, you're basically saying if you keep on that growth trajectory, you'll break 1,000 paying customers next year.
So we're all about getting every marketer to be able to unlock that creativity that they have within them. And that's why we're raising, to be able to get to as many customers in this.
You're raising again, or you're talking about the raise you just completed?
No, the one that we just did.
Yep. So you and so let's jump into that then, right? So you raised how much capital, and is this your first tranche, or have you raised prior?
Yeah, so we are proudly bootstrapped right up until our Series A. We didn't raise any money before then. And we just announced a $25 million Series A with Insight Partners.
Why'd you do it, Pierce? I mean, you give up a lot. I mean, you just give up a lot, right? Going from bootstrap to raised. And this wasn't a little raise. This was like, you're definitely on the VC track now. You have to make it work.
Yeah, like I said, we're proudly bootstrapped up into the raise. And we had our year end in the summertime this year. And we looked at, hey, what do we want to do to continue growing the business and grow it as fast as we can? I'm a very conservative person by nature. And, I think that's how we got here bootstrapping. We didn't have to raise, but we identified about 50 people that we wanted to hire on our team to accelerate growth. And if we continued to bootstrap and do it that way, it would have taken a lot longer. And we all know with technology, time is of the essence. And we felt like, hey, the capital markets are great right now. It's very founder friendly, and we're able to find a great partner like Insight who can give us a lot more than just the capital. They have a huge network, great centers of excellence around scaling out software teams that are our size. And it felt like a great opportunity that we couldn't say no to.
What's team size today, Pierce?
We are currently 45 people.
45. Great. Well, it sounds like some aggressive hiring plans. Now, most founders, especially going out doing like a first raise like this at this size, like this pattern, if you're picking Insight, many founders will pick Insight because Insight many times will let founders take secondaries, especially if the founders are early employees or early investors, angels, etc. I've been slicking away at it for a long time. You guys were launched, I believe, in 2015, right? So you've been at it for 6-7 years. Was all that 25 million going directly on the balance sheet, or were you able to create some liquidity for early employees, founders, etc.?
Yeah, we definitely took out some secondary. I think to your point, we proved that we could build a good, profitable business, and it felt like a good opportunity to take some of the chips off the table. Not just me, but I also felt like it was important and fair to let everybody in the company who had vested options the opportunity to sell as much as they wanted to. I have to say it was a pretty emotional moment for me when like the majority of our team didn't sell anything because they believe so much in our mission and what we can do in our future here at NAC.
Did you recommend they take some off the table to do things like buy a home, buy a car, start a family, pay off student debt, like life stuff?
I definitely encourage them to do that. I told them that I'm going to personally be doing that, and that, it's fully their decision. And I think, yeah, that was something that really did get me emotional, was just that, they had the opportunity to really take chips off the table and make a good amount of money, but they're in it for the long haul. And I think they see the potential that we have ahead of us.
How much of the 25 million would you and Insight, you would have been comfortable letting go to secondary? Obviously, it didn't all do that because people chose not to sell, but what was the maximum that you guys were comfortable with?
That's something that I can't disclose, but I will say that in talking to a lot of investors, and I think this is where other founders who are out there thinking about this, the market has changed, right? It's no longer that secondary is kind of like looked down upon. For us, it was something we always wanted to go into this deal with. It wasn't an option. We put that on the table to every investor, and none of them had any issues with what we're looking at.
What did you say when you were kicking off the process? Did you phrase that as something like, we want to take at least 5 million off the table, or we want at least 10% of the round to be secondary? Did you phrase it as a flat number or a percentage? Like, how did you set the early expectations for this?
Yeah, we had a percentage and a number.
Okay, so what if only one of those things hit? So what if you said 10%, but then the round was only 10 million, so you only had $1 million for secondary versus 5. If you want to take 5 million
well,
off,
they were together. Like, yeah, it was a number that was the percentage that we were looking for.
Okay, got it. So by default, when you put those two things together, you can back into what the round size would need to be in order to hit both the percentage and the flat number.
Yeah.
Was Insight the highest valuation, or did you not optimize for valuation?
Listen, I think there's a lot of companies out there right now, a lot of firms that will give you the highest valuation. But what we found is that those firms are really just about the capital, right? They don't come with all of the resources that an insight does. So, of course, valuation is important, and insight was close to the top, but we looked at the full package, right? Like I said before, we're looking, to me, like half of the value is working with a firm that's done this hundreds of times and has the resources to help you grow.
Mm-hmm. And help me understand sort of where this came in, right? So most people, when they're doing a Series A, I would say industry standards, you're selling somewhere between sort of 10 and 20% of the business. Did you sort of fall into that same average, or were you on an extreme for some reason?
Yeah, again, I can't disclose the valuation, but I will say that, like I said before, the market right now is very
Nope.
founder friendly. And we were very happy with the dilution that we're able to achieve on this round and our valuation. So,
Pierce, it's really important for my listeners to try and understand things that they should negotiate for when they go into their rounds. And so you providing any kind of range is helpful. I didn't ask you name the valuation because I know you can't disclose that, but can provide some sort of range for my audience? I mean, 10 to 20% again is pretty standard here.
yeah. Yeah, to me, if you're giving up more than 20% equity in a Series A, like everyone's different, but personally, I would never do that.
Yep. Yep. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Yeah. We're seeing, Chili Piper just sold 7 million secondary at a 625 million valuation with 15 million in revenue. But that's very different than what Lemlist just did, which was sell 30 million for 20% of the business at 150 million valuation with 10 million in revenue. Very different multiple profiles there, but obviously both included secondary. So cool. That makes sense to you. And Pierce, were you able to make this decision yourself, or did you have a bunch of co-founders you had to get everyone on the same page and agree with?
So I do have two other co-founders, but we're really aligned as a leadership team, and we all felt like this is the right thing to do for the business.
Mm-hmm. And did you guys, when you launched back in 2015, you had a consultancy I think you brought in? I don't know, like if someone put up more money for the MVP or stuff, or did you guys just split it evenly right at the beginning in 2015 or no?
So I actually founded the company in 2015, and then my co-founders came on later, like 2017, 2018.
I said, got it. So you obviously own more than it wasn't an even split.
Right.
Tell me more about how the agency plays into this. You still put that in your bio, which means it's still important to you. At least your PR people put it in your bio for this interview. So help me understand how the agency plays in here.
Yeah, Revenue Pulse is the first business that I started. So I think all entrepreneurs know that there's kind of a special attachment to that. I realized a couple of years ago that really my focus was on Knack, and that's what got me out of bed every day and got me super energized. So I hired an amazing CEO, Joe Peters, to run the Revenue Pulse business for me. Revenue Pulse continues to grow every year. And it's a great way. That consultancy is where we keep our pulse on what is happening in the marketing operations community, which is who we sell into at Knack every day. So there's a lot of synergy between the two companies, both Revenue Pulse identifying new opportunities for Knack, and Knack identifying opportunities the other way for services.
Mm-hmm. Tell me more about like the typical kind of customer. You mentioned early on price plans are $99 a month, no touch, right? Sign up with a credit card. I imagine price points like your average sort of ARPU has increased since then. I think last episode you said you were much closer to like $1,000 a month was sort of your sweet spot.
Yeah, so prices continue to go up. I think we're really focused on the enterprise. So the typical customer that works with us, I think our sweet spot, that these are $1 billion plus a year companies. They have marketers spread across the globe, hundreds or thousands of marketers. And they really need the collaboration capabilities that Knack provides, the brand control, the ease of use, and the ability to empower all of their marketers to be creative and integrate seamlessly into their marketing automation platforms. So we continue to work with a lot of Marketo customers, Eloqua, Responsus, Marketing Cloud, Pardot. All of those marketers need our help.
You have knack templates, which are free. That's sort of your top of funnel, helps, make CAC more efficient. You then have to work, hard, both in product and your sales team, to move them into knack solo, which is a $10,000 a year commitment. Free to 10,000 a year is obviously a big move. What sorts of things do you do in between those two plans to make sure people move up?
Yeah. So again, our goal is really to help marketers. And a lot of marketers are still in the mindset that they need a template. Templates are kind of the old way of how marketers used to accomplish creating an email or a landing page. So that was our initial product, Nathan. That was the one that we used to sell for $99 a month. We are giving that away now because, again, we want to position Knack as the company that is there to help marketers no matter where they are on their journey. I think what we see is once those marketers use the templates and realize really the pitfalls of using templates, how they're slow and rigid and hard to change, that's when they open their mind to like, hey, I actually do need a better way of creating a campaign. And they naturally look to Knack solo or enterprise to get that done.
Mm-hmm. And were you able to ride that $99 a month plan? I'm trying to figure out what took you to your first $1 million in revenue and what year that was. I mean, was that like 2016, 2017?
Yeah, so the $99 a month plan was so important for us. Like that is really how we learned how to onboard customers, right? When you're in that freemium model, you need to know everything about how your product works, where people can get stuck, how you upsell them, how you get their feedback. And that is really what has helped us grow this whole time. And by listening to our customers, that's how we identified the opportunity to build this new product, that, has way bigger potential. We think we're in a more than $1 billion market here, and we have less than 1% market share, right? So
Pierce, you're killing me, man. So were you able to use $99 a month to break that $1 million run rate in like 2016, 2017? I'm just trying to get a sense of what you looked like when you broke $1 million.
We didn't get to $1 million on the $99 a month plan. We only got there after we pivoted to sales, procurement, that whole process.
And that was in 2018?
I don't know the date off the top of my head.
Which year did you break $1 million run rate?
Again, we don't disclose that.
Pierce, this was years ago. Come on, man. You're making this very, very difficult on me. People like to understand the playbook, 0 to $1 million and then $1 million plus, and then now you're not bootstrapped and moving into VC. You got to be able to give me some number here.
Yeah, no, I think the way you get to $1 million is you have to continue to listen to your customers and figure out, look at your trends, right?
Pierce, what year was that for you for Knack? We want to use numbers and then tie that to the tactics that you're communicating now. I mean, was that 2016, 2017, somewhere in there?
Yeah. Yeah, I do want to help your listeners get to $1 million, and I'm trying to give some examples of how to do that and how we got there. I think what we realized was that freemium model wasn't going to do it for us. It was really high churn. You have to realize your churn numbers, right? How are you going to get people to stay in your platform? And how are you going to build a scalable business? For us,
how many years did it take you to learn that, though? How long did it take you to learn that? There's people listening right now, maybe doing the same thing, going, do I need to test this for a year, 2 years, 3 years? I
think we realized the freemium model wasn't going to get us to where we needed to, probably within a year and a half.
Okay, so by mid 2016, you were thinking, what does a sales motion look like, and how do I think about a higher price plan?
Yeah. Well, and I think what we learned again was that templates were not sticky, right? And they were flawed still. That was the biggest learning that we had, was we realized we're solving one part of our customer's issue, the marketer's issue, with the coding of the templates. But there were so many issues around that we needed to really build a new product that would address all of those. So brand control, collaboration, integration with the marketing automation platforms, all of the flexibility and the creativity component were huge. And that's what fueled a much, stronger growth trajectory.
Pierce, this makes a lot of sense. What are you most nervous about right now? You just brought in money. You have we'll call it a VC sugar daddy now, right? Board meetings coming up. What are you nervous about?
Yeah, I think as we grow, and I mentioned we want to hire 50 people, one of our secret weapons that I think we have here at NAC is our culture. It's amazing. Everybody loves coming to work. We just won best places to work in Ottawa. Our employee ENPS is like off the charts. I think it was 85 last time we did it. And so we're growing quickly. We're hiring 50 people. We're doubling the team. I want to make sure that we're able to, grow this culture into something really positive as we continue to grow the company. And I'd say that's something that's top of mind for me.
All right, love that. And then real quick, round out the sales motion. You mentioned that this is critical to the ultimate success, moving away from templates. How many quota carrying sales reps do you have today?
Yeah, I mean, this is another beautiful part of this business is right now we only have one quota carrying rep.
That's down from a year ago. You had told me you had 3.
Well, we had 2. We lost one over the summer. We're rehiring. But we've continued to triple digit growth of our revenue every year. And I think that just speaks to the need for a solution like NAC in the market.
Does that one sales rep talk to every single person that upgrades to the $10,000 per year plan? Or do you have people that never touch your support or sales reps that go from 0 to 10 grand a year?
We have a big CSM team and account management team that is working on the upsells and account expansion. But our AE currently touches all of our new sales.
Wow. Okay. How many are on the CSM team?
So I think we have 5 CSMs now.
Should I ask more questions there? Are you doing something unique there? Or is it pretty standard playbook?
I think again, it just speaks to when we get our customers using NAC, they realize how this can transform their marketing department and how this can help them go way faster and way cheaper than ever before. And so there's a lot of organic growth that is happening there.
You're talking expansion revenue. They go from 10,000 a year to 20,000 a year in their first 24 months.
Oh yeah, a lot of our customers, keep in mind we're selling to the enterprise, right? So we might get one group at a company, maybe it's 10 people who try it in one location. And then their global team says, "What are you guys doing over there? That's pretty cool. Let's now roll it out to the whole company." Now we have 100 or 500 users. And so that's really how it's growing.
Yeah. And that is the thing you put at the top of your pricing page. Individuals, 1 user is NAC starter is 5, and enterprise is 5 to 1,000 users. Is that your most powerful upsell mechanism? It's the number of seats.
Yeah. So our pricing model is, it's very simple, right? It's just how many people are going to be creating assets within NAC.
That's more powerful though than your feature-based upselling, like built-in workflows on your enterprise plan, or customizing user access roles and permissions.
It really depends on the company, right? So the smaller companies, we find they just don't even necessarily need all of the features in the enterprise plan. Mm-hmm. Whereas big companies, they need all of that stuff. So it's usually kind of a combination of both.
And Pierce, is all this code word for your guys' net dollar retention as well above 100%?
I can confirm it's over 100%.
Boom! But hey, we got a number. Give this guy a little thumbs up on iTunes or YouTube.
To give you something, Nathan.
Hey, got to give me something to work with. I kind of got the $1 million run rate in 2016, 2017-ish. I got 100% dollar retention. I mean, this is nice growth. Couple hundred customers, but not 1,000 yet. But your free plan is driving a lot of new users because it's free, obviously, but not a good product because it's not sticky. But again, helps your CSM team expand folks. So makes a lot of sense here. I know we're over time, Pierce. Let's wrap up with the famous 5. Number 1. Favorite business book?
What's one that I just read? Uh, yeah, one that I just read. Well, actually, I just read the book with Dyson. So the guy who started Dyson vacuums, which is interesting.
Number two, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
Um, I'm loving Michael Saylor right now. I'm a big Bitcoin person, and I think he just sees the future in ways that other people can't.
What percent of your total net worth right now do you have at today's prices exposed to like Bitcoin and ETH or some form of crypto?
Over, uh, let's say a sizable amount, but more than 10%.
Okay, I was waiting for you to go like 70%. I was gonna go, what? All right, more than 10. Number three, what's your favorite online tool for building a knack?
Can I say knack?
No, you can't say can't say knack. Says the marketer founder.
Yeah, let's say hey, we can run our business without Slack, and they're a great customer of ours.
Number four, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
7 to 8.
Okay. And situation, married, single, kiddos?
Married with a 4 and a 6-year-old.
Oh my God. Busy guy. All right. How old are you, Pierce?
36.
36.
There you go. I gave you another number.
I know I'm getting all of these. I just got to ask the family question numbers. Yeah. That's how I do this. All right. Last question. Take us home. Something you wish you knew when you were 20.
Yeah, I think the older I get, the more I look at going for the long game. And that's something that I feel when I was younger, it was kind of much shorter term thinking. You have to be confident, stay focused, and keep your eye on the long game, and good things happen.
Guys, there you have it. Knack launched in 2015 off the back of a marketing agency. They now help enterprise brands do email much faster, much better. Marketing teams don't have to rely on their development teams to get things out the door. They're upselling like crazy, over 100% net dollar retention, mainly focused on enterprises with more than 50 seats. Again, launched in 2015, just did a $25 million round. Pierce feels selling to 10 to 20% of the business is really what you should target in this sort of range. Anything above that feels a little uncomfortable. 45 on the team, but hiring fast up there in Ottawa. Pierce, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thank you, Nathan. That was fun.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company, or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them, and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.